Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, which system of equations represents the graph below? So I'm looking for a systems of equations, right? When I see that, I should think about not one equation, but I should think about either two equations or two graphs. So in this case, I do see my graph and I see two graphs in there, right? I see two lines. And on my answer choices, I don't see one equation. I actually see a set of two equations on each answer choice. So now I know that I'm looking for two equations, okay? And of course, my equations should match my graph. So there's at least two ways that we can work on my problem, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do one of the easiest to do, okay? But it still implies for you to know concepts, okay? So the first concept that you need to know is, what is this point representing? I know that that point, it's the intersection of the two lines, okay? But we also call it the solution, okay? So what does it mean by the solution? Well, it means that that point, which is, and I'm gonna write it down up here, it's a 4 and a 5, right? It means that 4, 5, it's a point that belongs to both of the equations. So one of the things that I can do is I can go to the answer choices and replace x with a 4 and y with a 5 and see if I get those answers that are on the side of the equal sign. Okay, so for example, I want to start with A. So my answer choice A has the equation of 3x minus 2y equals 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace x with the 4 and I'm going to replace y with a 5, hoping that I get a 9 as an answer. So 3 times 4 is 12 and 2 times 5 is 10. I know what you're thinking, Miss, why do you put an equal sign? The equal sign is part of my equation, okay? Not until the end is when I say that is true or not. So now I'm going to say 12 minus 10, it's a 2. And now here's where I ask you the question. Is 2 equals to a 9? And the answer is no, they're not equal. Therefore, my answer choice A cannot be my graph, okay? Because I'm looking for an equation who actually has the point 4 and 5. So A cannot be an answer. Let's look at B now. So B has the equation 2x minus 3y equals negative 7. Okay, so we're going to do the same process. I will replace x with the 4 and I will replace y with the 5. Okay, we're going to work it out. 2 times 4 is 8 and 3 times 5 is 15. And now the question is, subtract 8 minus 15. And the answer is negative 7. What do you notice? Did I get the same negative 7 on both? Yes, I did, right? So that means that the first equation works, but that's not it. I still need to work that second equation from letter B, which says x plus y is equals to a 9. Okay, so I can go ahead and replace x with a 4 and y with a 5 and hoping that I get a positive 9. What's 4 plus 5? 9 equals 9. Did I get the same answer? Yes, I did, right? So it works on both of the equations. So it looks like letter B should be the answer. If you want to, you can try to check C and D to see how it works, okay? And we can do that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do letter C over here. So I got 2x minus 3y equals 2. So I'm going to get 2 times 4 minus 3 times 5. So 2 times 4, it's 8. And 3 times 5 is 15. What's 8 minus 15? I get a -7, but I do not have a -7 on the other side. I have a 2. So does it work? No. Then letter C cannot be an answer because we already proved that B works. Okay? But we can check the next one, letter D. So letter D is 3x minus 2y equals -7. So I will replace x with a 4 and replace y with a 5. Let's see what we get. 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 5 is 10. What's 12 minus 10? 2. Do I have a 2 on the other side, on the right side? No, right? So does that work? No. So all of these didn't work, right? There's only one that actually works. So my answer for this should be letter B for this one, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. What was the other way that you wanted for us to do it, miss? Like, is it easier? Honestly, it's a little bit more, no, not more complicated, but it takes longer. So the second way that I thought about doing it, and you will do more questions like that on the way, okay? It would be to actually write down my equation for each line. So I will need to find the equation. Okay, so I will need to find each equation for those two lines. And of course, by doing that, I will need to find the slope and y-intercept, okay, for each line. Once I get the equation for those two lines, then I will need to move them around so that x and y are in the same side, and then I can see if they can match my A, B, C, or D. Okay, but again, the way that I did it right now, it was mainly thinking about the process of you understanding that the solution is actually the point of the intersection of the two lines, number one, and that it means that that point, in this case 4, 5, it actually works on both equations. Okay,